EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for July 30th, 2019. For your Tuesday, we're expecting a cold front to approach the region today. Likely comes through here on Wednesday, so it's going to be hung up in our western zones, or actually not our western zones, but west of our region. We will have a prefrontal trough moving out ahead of this. Will bring some scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly in these areas that I'm circling right here. So I don't think it gets too far east. And it doesn't involve much of our region. I think we're going to be just central PA, maybe western portions of northeast PA for some thunderstorm activity, mainly from mid-afternoon through about early to mid-evening. Okay, so that's your time window for any kind of storm activity today. The rest of you are going to be hot and humid today, and they're probably going to be the hottest day of this entire mini heat wave that we've had ongoing since the latter part of the weekend. So we have 90s over the last couple of days. Now we have a third day, and in some cases, maybe even four, depending on where you're at. But it looks like this will come to an end today once this cold front moves eastward. We're going to have scattered showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday afternoon and evening, as well as that cold front works its way through. But today is just along the prefrontal trough axis. So again, most areas south and east of there will stay dry. So I think as we look here at the high-res future simulator radar from the 3-kilometer NAM, and this is the focus of where the activity is going to be initiating. This is right around mid-afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think, again, your focus is going to be right in these areas right here. Okay, so south and east of there, probably not. Probably not dealing with anything at all today. Maybe something just stray, but I think the activity is just going to be right in those areas here, and that's in that 3 to 8 window that I was talking about right there. 3 to 8 p.m., okay? So that's today. Once we get to tomorrow, then we're going to have the cold front move through. And you're going to have scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly in our eastern sections on Wednesday. So we get to the high-res future simulator radar again for Wednesday, and this is what it's looking like as we get into the afternoon hours. This is now looking at 2 p.m., so you got some initiation here up in these areas, but watch what happens throughout the later afternoon and evening. It starts to pick up in intensity a little bit. So the storms today that are going to happen in central Pennsylvania, I think they're going to be more so pulsars, which means that they're not going to be sustained for very long. So you might have some storms that pop up, might get a little bit strong for a little bit, and then they're going to pulse out as the rainstorm or the rain-cooled updrafts prohibit the storm from continuing for over long distances. So they might kind of blow up and then weaken, and then blow up and weaken, that kind of thing. And again, just mainly in the central PA areas. And that's a direct result of the lack of shear that will be in place. Very typical thing to happen in summertime, to have these pulsar type storms. But we're dealing with a cold front here on Wednesday, a little bit better in the shear department. So we'll have some storms that are moving, some storms that might produce a little bit heavier rain, and some storms that will produce, a decent amount of lightning, maybe even some gusty winds here on Wednesday as well. So we'll watch this a little bit more closely. But the coverage, it looks like on Wednesday, is going to be a lot more numerous and in more areas. So this is looking at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, and then this moves off to the south and east. You can see the storms moving through New Jersey and Philadelphia here at this point as we get into the evening hours. And once we get past the evening, this will move off to the south and east. So that'll be it for that cold front. Once that moves through, it is going to return to normal temperatures for a little bit. We're going to have a couple days that are going to be kind of like middle 80s there through at least Saturday. And then once we get to Sunday and Monday, it'll warm up again for a couple days into next week. And then that should continue to be the case going into next week. But right now, it looks like we're going to be dropped down to kind of like middle 80s, mid to upper 80s for highs. Very typical summertime weather, for at least for this time of year, once we get behind this cold front. There is an opportunity for an isolated thunderstorm as we get into Saturday. A southeasterly flow here on Friday and Saturday could lead to an isolated thunderstorm. Better chance for that will be on Saturday, and you can see that right here. Not much, just an isolated shower or thunderstorm on Saturday, but otherwise we're partly cloudy straight through the end of the forecast period, and not looking at much precipitation other than what we see over either today and for some areas, and then again on Wednesday. So pretty dry go at it. And I looked at the Aero Weeklies that ran tonight before I did this video, and it's still insisting that we're going to have a drier than average August. It's the 4th consecutive run of that particular model, which runs twice a week. It's a climate model that runs 46 days into the future, and it has been projecting the month of August to be a drier than average month for 4 consecutive runs now. So that's spanning over the last 2 weeks. And it also continues to agree that we will be above average as far as temperatures are concerned for the month of August. Now, I don't think we're going to be kind of like crazy, really crazy above average for the first half of the month. As a matter of fact, I think the middle third of the month, between say like the 10th and we'll just round it off, somewhere around the 8th or 9th through about the 18th or so, we should be pretty close to average. After that point, we go right back into the furnace again. It looks like we're going to have a pretty hot end to the month as what our latest long-range projections are forecasting. I don't see any reason to change that. So if you are a fan of the summer-like heat, 90s, that kind of thing, we're not done with them, not even close. We have a lot of 90-degree days forthcoming, but it might be a little bit of a period in there. We have a little bit of a break during the month of at least the middle third of August is what it's looking like right now. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for July 30th, 2019. Have a great Tuesday.